on December 8th, tomorrow. So we're doing a review today on Alex, and it's called the Graphing and Substitution Systems Review. And here's a few questions from that review, and if you do well on that review, you'll be ready for the test tomorrow. So let's take a look at a few of these questions. The first one is graphing these two equations and seeing where they intersect to get us a solution. So if we look at the first one, it has a y-intercept of 6 and a slope of 1. Remember, if you just have x by itself, you put the number 1 in there. So that means we're going to go up 1 over 1 when we graph this. So let's go down here to the graph then. We'll go up to positive 6, and then the slope's up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Or we can go down 1 and back 1, down 1 and back 1 if we want to get a few more points on there. So now we need to grab us a line tool. And I'm using a different line tool than you'll be using. I'm using the one off of my Smartboard application, but you'll be using this particular line tool when you do it. So let me make sure I've got this in the right place. I just need to adjust it a little bit. And so I get that line lined up right on all my points and coming down through here with the correct slope. I think I'm ready. So now I go to the second equation and I graph it. So I grab me a marker and I go down to -6 on the y-axis because that's where the y-intercept is. And then the slope on this one is down 2 over 1. But I'm running out of room, so I'm going to go up 2, back 1. Up 2, back 1, up 2, back 1, up 2, and back 1. So right there is where I'm hitting. So I'm going to grab another line tool and bring that down through there, just like that. So we notice that this is our little intersection. And so where is that intersection? Right there at the green point. So I look and I'm at -4, 2. -4, 2. So when you do this on either today's review or on the test tomorrow, they will expect you to put in the answer as well. Okay, and if they don't cross, it has no solution. Or if they turn out to be the same line, it would have infinitely many solutions. So there's our first example. Second example. We have 2 more systems that we need to graph on this coordinate system, but we notice that the first one is not solved for y. We need to have y come first. And so what we have to do is move the 2x to the other side. And whatever problem you may be working on, you'll have something that may need to be moved. When it moves across the equal sign, it becomes its opposite. And then the subtract 6 or -6 that was there just get shifted over a little bit, and there's our equation. In fact, that looks very similar to the one we did on the previous page, doesn't it? All right, so let's graph that one. Since it was the first one on our list, we go down to -6, make a dot, thanks to this y-intercept. Then this slope says go down 2 and over 1. So down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Let's go up 2, back 1, up 2, back 1, up 2, back 1, up 2, and back 1. So once we've done that, we can grab ourselves a line and drag a line down through there. And that looks pretty good to me. Maybe we will extend this section of the line up just a little bit in case our new graph happens to cross up in that area. Okay, here is our next equation. So we will grab a pen, and we're going to go down to -1 for our y-intercept on this one. And then our slope is down 1 over 3, or up 1 and back 3, just like that. All right, so now we grab our line tool and drag it down through those points, and we could keep going on forever in each direction if we had room. But there's basically where we go. And we notice this is our intersection. So our intersection We'll mark that in green so it's really obvious and clear. So that's crossing at -3, 0. So the solution would be -3, 0. And you got to make sure you put it in the parentheses. And on the Alex application, they'll have a little set of parentheses that you can click over here to put your answer in. All right, keep on moving. We got just a couple more. In this particular one, we're going to use substitution to solve. And so the first thing it says is solve for x. Well, we know that y equals x minus 11. And in our second equation, we know that y is 14. So we're going to substitute 14 in for that y and get 14 equals x subtract 11. So to solve for x, all I have to do is add 11 to both sides of my equation. And 11 plus 14 is 25. And so that's what x is going to equal. So in my Alex application, I would come down here, click on this box, and type in the number 25. All right, I think we've got one more, very similar looking. It looks like this. Okay, so we've got y equals 6x and y equals 42. So for the first y, we're going to plug in the number 42, and we'll have 42 equals 6x. And we'll divide both sides by 6. 42 divided by 6 is 7, and that equals x. So we'll come down here and type in the number 7. Now, in some of these problems that you encounter, you may actually have y equals x minus 6 or something like that. So that it may not always be a multiplication. There could be an addition or subtraction. Just make sure that when you substitute the number from one equation into the other, that you put it in the right place. All right. Here is another system, and we're going to use the substitution to solve this one as well. So we've got -3x plus 2y equals -7, and in the second one, we have an equation that is solved for y. So we're going to substitute what it says y is into the other equation for y. So we'll end up with -3x plus 2 parentheses 2x minus 4 as we make our substitution equals -7. All right, now we will go through the equation and start solving. We'll get rid of the parentheses. And when we do that, we'll have -3x. And then 2 times 2 is 4, so plus 4x. And 2 times -4 is -8. And all of that equals -7. Okay. So we combine our like terms. We got 4x, -3x and 4x, that just equals 1x. And we're going to take this -8 and move it over by adding 8 to both sides. And -7 plus 8 is just 1. So x equals 1 in this particular case. So we'll type the number 1 in for x. Now to find what our y value is, all we have to do is take this 1 that we found for x, plug it back into one of the original equations. This is the easiest place to use it. So y will end up being 2 times 1 minus 4 as we substitute that in there. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 4 is -2. So our final answer up here will be -2. That'll be our y value at that x and y location. So good luck with the quiz, and this should help you with the review and help you understand each type of problem on the review. Thank you very much.